Climate scientists in Australia are warning that the massive dieback of mangrove trees along a 1,000-kilometre stretch of coastline on the Gulf of Carpentaria is due to climate change. Nick Grimm has been speaking about the dieback with mangrove ecologist Dr Norman Duke, who leads James Cook University's Mangrove Research Hub.
Well, what we observed last year around April, May, was that consultants working in the Gulf had sent in images of dying mangroves, and those images were truly disturbing. They were images showing mangroves dying in all sorts of places across the Gulf, sort of separated over 1,000 kilometres. And then subsequent to that, we were able to get out with some ad hoc surveys and discovered that there was mangrove dieback occurring indeed along that southern coast of the Gulf of Carpentaria. And we've also discovered there's about 7,400 hectares have died.
So what have your investigations revealed to you about what's caused this dieback?
Well, it seems it's all early days, but what we saw as correlative events or things that occurred at the same time was that there was high or extremely high temperatures recorded. There was a severe drought. And to top it off, there was a curious drop of 20 centimetres in sea level.
What caused that?
Well, all those things are directly correlated with the ENSO, which is El Niño.
And all those things, of course, have been linked to climate change.
Well, we believe so. Obviously, it's an arguable point because it's a one-off to date, this severe event. As far as we know, it's unprecedented, and the fact that it's never occurred before suggests strongly that it's related to longer-term change in climate. But for the moment, let's take it as the worst-case scenario. The big take-home message is that it's identified to us the sensitivity of these ecosystems, which were previously thought to be more robust.
How long is it likely to take for these mangrove forests to recover?
Yeah, well, that is a serious question. Some of these trees that have died are up to 200 years old. So it can be at least 2 decades before you get reasonable recovery. But the problem is that they're growing on exposed shorelines, and they're always subject to events like cyclones, flooding, etc. And we know already that just a couple of weeks ago, the Gulf was hit by a cyclone. So it's something that we are expecting that things will be badly affected. We expect that there'll be erosion. We expect that trees to be washed out. But we're already witnessing before that in October last year that the sediments were starting to move because the dead trees were no longer holding those shorelines together.
And this is, of course, a very troubling development coming on top of the coral bleaching event that was also observed last year.
Yeah, well, it is obviously related also to that El Niño cycle. What we're appreciating is that it's not just about hot seawater. It's also about the effects on rainfall. There's things that we're observing that need to be in the public domain, and that's why we're really advocating that there be a shoreline or national shoreline monitoring program.
That's mangrove ecologist Dr Norman Duke, who leads James Cook University's Mangrove Research Hub. He was speaking